Hey, Desperate fans, it's Desperate Girl 90. Sorry I didn't recap the season opener last week, but I've been moving and it's been hectic for me, so I'm going to do a double part recap of the last couple episodes. Desperate Housewives, oh my gosh, this is going to be an amazing season, and I'm so excited. Um, so let's just, I guess, start off. Susan. Susan and Mike had to move into an apartment because they are having money issues and Mike wants to get that straightened out. Well, uh, her landlord, Susan's approached by her landlord about cleaning her house in lingerie and videotaping it and putting it on the internet and having dudes all over the country like pay to watch it. So she's like, oh my gosh, no, whatever. Well then she's really strapped for cash and she wants to get back to her house on Wisteria Lane and to a better life, and so she does it. So we're seeing her do that, and she just tells Mike that her jewelry's going good and stuff like that. So I'm sure the secret's gonna come out and Mike's gonna have a fit about it, but you never know. So we'll see. What's his face? I can't think of his name. Paul. Is it Paul? I think it's Paul. Moved into Susan's house on Wisteria Lane and was renting it. And everyone's like, what is he doing back? What's he doing back? Well, he got out of prison because the woman who framed him, they found her in a routine traffic stop, and so she went to prison because of that. And she told her cellmate that he was going to only live 6 months because he doesn't have friends on Wisteria Lane and the woman does, and she's going to expose that he murdered her sister and all this crazy shit. Well, this girl comes onto Wisteria Lane and is looking for Paul. Well, then Paul's like, this is Beth, my wife. And everyone's like, what? So you kind of get from their conversations that she wrote to him in prison, but that I guess they didn't meet or whatever. Well, she like really won't have sex with him, and he's like, this is your duty as a wife, and she's like, I'll do my duties as a wife, but I don't know you that well, and I'm not gonna have sex with you, so can you just wait? And he was like, okay, fine. Well, then he kind of like blackmails her and was like, you're supposed to be my wife. You wrote this and blah blah blah. Anyway, it's kind of sketchy, so I'm waiting to see what happens and this whole story and background on that. Bree is turning into a little slut, and I like it. Orson, at the first episode, Orson is dating, she finds out that Orson is dating his physical therapist, and she gets all pissed. Orson's just like, you need change, take up a hobby. So then she rips all her wallpaper down and is like, shoot, I need like a contractor. So she hires this guy, Keith. Keith's young and hot and sexy, and she is finding herself being attracted to him, and she's like, he's 15 years too old for me, blah, blah, or too young for me. I can't do this. So she fires him because she's so attracted to him. Well, then she finally tells him, I want you back. So they're gonna have an affair. If they don't have an affair, I'm gonna be very, very upset because I want them to. So we'll see. In the first episode, the hospital lawyer comes to Carlos and is like, listen, Wanita isn't yours. And Carlos is like, what? How was she switched to birth? Whatever. So he's like, I'm going to give you, he's like, don't ever tell Gabby. I can't tell her this. I'll tell her, but just don't ever tell her. I'll do it. Blah, 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 blah. Well, Gabby, Bree told Gabby that Andrew was the one that killed Carlos' mother, and Gabby's like, I can't tell Carlos. So they're each hiding secrets from each other. Well, Bree hits little Wanita with her car, and she's going to the hospital. Well, then, like, the nurse is like, you need to tell us when you adopted Wanita. And Gabby's like, we didn't adopt her. I had her. She's like, well, you and Carlos's blood types are both A's and hers is an O or whatever, and that you can't make that. And so she's like, what? Blah, blah, blah. Well, then she's like, you had an affair. And she's like, I didn't have an affair. Well, then Carlos has to tell her that Bonita's not theirs. So, and all we see her doing is crying and getting upset. So we'll see what actually comes of that. But I mean, she's more of a mother than anything because they've raised her for the last 8 years. Their mom and dad to her. I'm sure that she'll stay there with them because I mean they've raised her. So they'll probably keep her. But we'll see. Lynette's friend, college friend, Renee, comes to visit, played by Vanessa Williams, comes to visit, and she's like an out east girl from New York, big city type person, dated or was married to, I think, a baseball player. I don't know what he was. Anyway, so she kind of dogs Lynette's life because it's just she's a mother of 5 kids and she lives in a small town, suburban neighborhood, and it's just not the life that she finds happy. Well, Lynette's like, no, I love my life. This is how I wanted to live my life. You know, don't judge me, whatever. She's like, okay, fine, I'm just kind of dogging you because my husband is leaving me. He cheated on me, and I told him it's her or me, and he picked her, so we're getting a divorce. And so Lynette's like, oh my gosh, you can stay here as long as you want, and they make up. Well, then Tom comes home, and he's like, I have postpartum depression. And Lynette's like, what? Dads can't get that. And he's like, yeah, it's in this pamphlet. So she's like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so Tom and Renee have been talking because Renee actually listens to Tom. And Renee tries to tell Lynette, you know, whatever. And Lynette's like, don't tell me how to run my marriage, blah, blah, blah. Well, she's like, well, your husband needs someone to listen to, blah, blah, blah. Well, then Lynette finally sees that and thinks that Renee is trying to get up on Tom. So she kind of tries to fix it and tries to listen to Tom, I guess. But that's sort of a recap. I'm going to try to stay on top of things because a blog is a blog and I need to stay up with it. But, yeah. So keep watching. I hope you're enjoying this season as much as I am right now. I think it's going to be a good season, and I can't wait to see what it has in store for us. And I can't wait to see everything unfold, and I'm super, super, super excited about the season, as I hope you are too. So keep watching, and keep watching my blog. So until next time, bye.